comment. I said I would pay you to. I like you come here.
Sorry, Robin, that's really the thing.
No, it's okay, no worries. I didn't notice. The bank did, darn it.
I seem to catch those things.
Yeah, what the heck?
So, thank you so much for having me. So nice to meet all of you. Huge shout out to Chris. Thank you for making this happen. We just connected recently, but great conversation, and he does great work. So I really appreciate you setting this up. Thank you, Robin. Just met you, but you guys have a wonderful group here and wonderful people, and I'm glad you all have businesses and you're part of businesses. So that's the main thing I was thinking about when on my ride over here. Is every person in the world and every business in the world has problems. If you don't, something's going terribly wrong, right? So I have plenty of problems. I'm a human here on earth. We have things to deal with, and businesses have plenty of problems to deal with. So at DApolito and Sons, what we do is we help businesses find their problems, their things holding them back, and we work with you to unlock your potential. The main thing we're finding right now with what businesses need help with is marketing, especially social media marketing. I mean, I'm sure all you guys are on social media. You can scroll on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is. I'm actually recording on YouTube Live right now, just so I have this, because I'm not at the stage where I got a full-on videographer traveling around with me just yet. But the point of that is to document everything, because everything can be put online and used for education and informing your clients, customers, your followers about what you do. So I want to give you a little backstory on what got me here, why you can trust me in saying this stuff, and my brothers, because I have 3 partners, and those are my 3 brothers in business. And what we offer are results we've garnered for our clients, and then how we do that and what we can give you guys. So to start with the history, these are my 3 brothers. Myself, Justin, Zach, and Nick. I'll start in sharing my great-grandpa on my dad's side of my family immigrated from Italy when he was 20, and his wife was 19. They had $2 in their pocket. They went on a boat, went through Ellis Island, bounced around a little bit, Boston, other parts of the East Coast, and settled in New Jersey. When they got to New Jersey, my great-grandpa was a journeyman. He was an advanced tailor, and he set up a tailor shop, and it lasted 96 years. It just recently stopped because the 3rd generation that continued it, so my cousin, it was his niece, so it passed down from him to his son to his niece. So him to my uncle to my cousin. She passed away recently, so did her father, my uncle. So they stopped the business, but it was around for 96 years. So I come from like a line of business builders, and that's a huge thing we take part of. Our name, DApolito and Sons, actually comes from his tailor shop, was called DApolito and Son. So there's deep roots with this stuff. We're like real high integrity with what we do. We want to do the right thing. We care about family and that history. And then my grandpa on my mom's side served in World War II, was on the beaches of Normandy, and when he came back, was working at a gas station and had his own service garage. So I come from people that have built businesses. All my family now, my relatives, people have businesses, so it's just ingrained in us. So something I love is business and helping people solve problems. I love bringing order to chaos and structure to chaos and solving problems, because everyone has problems. We all got stuff we got to figure out. Every business has either a financial need or an operational bottleneck or a lack of marketing exposure. So we help bring structure to that and find a solution, pinpoint accuracy, and get it taken care of. But like I said, marketing is the biggest focus for us. Most businesses need help with that. My brother Justin's worked for 10 plus years at one of the best organizations in sports, at the NBA. He leads all of their social media. Zach, he works at a regional bank here in the East Coast. He's gotten to the position of VP, and he manages a $60 billion balance sheet. He's won all of the Monopoly games growing up. That was his specialty. Like at the local library, he was just crushing Monopoly. Nick, our youngest brother, he's just an entrepreneur at heart. He's in college, but he's in the operations with me in the consulting agency we have here, and an amazing editor. Like, he's gonna grow leaps and bounds because he's learning everything we needed to learn later on in life, but he's starting it. He's 19. And then myself, I've been business building for 10 years. I actually dropped out of university to focus on business, and then moved to Austin, Texas 5 years ago, and built a startup. And it was in the food industry. We had food trucks, and we grew rapidly from 0 to 10 locations, 0 to 8 million in annual revenue. And now I'm here, and I just want to serve businesses, serve the community, and use all that knowledge to build our agency, but also, like I said, help other people. So it is not clear, like, we come from a family that serves community, serves people, and we love helping others. So high integrity, made a little thing about what DApolito means. All of this can be umbrellaed into integrity, high intelligent work, and strategy, and we just really trust in what we do. This one I like a lot. It's partnerships built on trust. I always think to get to market fast, you should always partner with people. That's the best way to get to market fast. And so what you'll see here today with the clients we work with, we do exactly that. We partner with other people, whether it's a real estate agent, a mortgage lender, life insurance agent, a local tavern, a service-based business that does power washing. We partner with them so they can get to market faster or get exposure they need about their products and services. So a little bit about our results to give backing as to why this makes sense. It's all pinned to finding your identity and vision. We all have problems, like I said, and businesses all have problems. If you don't, something's going wrong. But when you have a vision and a strategy and an identity, it makes everything worthwhile. So we help people understand their identity and bring it online, and then systemize their creativity, one of my favorite terms we've adopted recently. Creativity is like this kind of art. It kind of feels like you're just Picassoing everything, but it's actually, there's a science to it. And as you'll see, we bring structure to this really creative thing of content, and then we help people win. So this is some of our own work we've done on TikTok, just an experimental family TikTok page, really good results, some client work, and having fun with it along the way. And then to be even more exact here, our TikTok page went from 0 to 2 million in views in 6 months, all experimental, all just visiting restaurants, posting about them. A local tavern called Maggie's Town Tavern in Wayne, 4x their impressions and engagement. We helped 10 times following for a life insurance agent within 1 month. And then a real estate agent, his brand is called the Community Man because he sells a community and he loves trust and relationships with people, so he's not just a broker. We branded him as the Community Man. He's also been building that up in his own even before we started working together. So again, even to that point, like, he understands his identity. He loves people, he loves community, he loves relationships, so he's like, I'm gonna call myself the Community Man. And it's really helped in growing his following, so almost 400,000 views in 6 months. This is the next one. Mazgod is a local food truck in Wayne, and we've 10 times his engagement on TikTok within a month. You'll see that on the next slide. And then that same real estate agent, the Community Man, we 7 times his deal flow and revenue. So last year he did a certain amount, and then he said 3 months into starting this year, he's already done 70% of his volume compared to last year. So I love engagement, I love getting views, but it's like, how does it translate? And a lot of what I'll explain, it's what's called owned or organic media. So you're just posting and posting and posting in this free barrier to entry platform, which is social media. But you're posting and posting and posting for free, but the goal is to get people to buy something from you, or to give enough value to where they feel they can come to you for your service and your products. So yeah, this is the Mazgod. He started at just what most pages look like if they don't have a strategy. And then we started with him, and this is a month in. So this was the end of May. I screenshotted his page when it was from January to May 30th of last year. That's his total views, really not much going on, but we put a strategy in place. And then from June 1st to 28th, he, was 10 times his views there.
What was that one spike?
That is a great question. I think I think this is when we started implementing, well, I'm glad you said that too, because that's literally what
Yeah.
you read the slides, didn't
Yeah.
you?
No, I didn't.
But we started with them, with him here, and then this spike, so it says here, creating view spikes by activating short form content to drive top of funnel traffic. And you'll see on the next slide what that means, but this short form content, it's kind of like little arrows that go out, or like little punches, to eventually have top of funnel, like people come in from your social media down to buying something from you, like I mentioned before. But that spike came from, we told him to get these meta glasses. You ever see those meta glasses that Facebook launched? And you can record and then you can upload it to social media. So we did that for him, and we said, while you're serving in the food truck, wear the glasses and record your interactions with customers, or you cooking. And so one of the videos, I don't think it was on the previous page. No, but one of the videos did pretty good. It's like 30,000 views or 4,000 views. But people like that. They like the authenticity. It's the big word. Like they like to see it in real time as though they're there. And so I believe that came from when we started having him wear the glasses. So this gives a visual to the structure and order I'm talking about. So how to systemize creativity. Everyone has all these ideas. I'm like an idea fountain. I don't get to 99% of them. It's just like pouring out of my ears. But how do we get it to a spot to where we can actually capture the ideas and put them online? So I'll talk for a moment about why I post on social media. I might even jump to this slide here. I know you mentioned with Minimum Press, like you guys have print, or you could do some merch and maybe some digital stuff, but
Yep.
all of what we're talking about is content marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all these different ways of marketing. You have offline channels. You can go newspapers, billboard, direct mail ads. You can do TV ads, localized flyers, sponsorships. But a lot of what we're talking about is content marketing and social media. So this page just overviews what marketing is at high level, marketing 101. The reason I love social media so much is I can record on that phone and we can get, say, 4 clips from that and put it on our social media. And it's like you kind of duplicated yourself. You kind of cloned your knowledge, you cloned yourself, and you're pushing it online for the sake of giving value to other people. Now to go back to the golden tool, I call it, this system, I spent a year building this out. There's so much more I want to do with it, so many features I want to add to it that are in the pipeline that actually incorporate AI. And I'm not just throwing that word out there, like I want to get to the point where you can copy a Zillow link, and the Zillow link will be scraped of all its information, take that information, put it into a description box, take that description box, and then make a caption out of that. And so a real estate agent won't have to make their own caption on the fly. It can automate a lot of that work that usually is done manually. But to explain this beautiful golden tool, God bless you, that's spent a lot of time in it, but still always a work in progress, never perfect, is for our clients, we want them to see everything in one. So we want them to be able to see their strategy, the meetings we have with them, their goals, and then their analytics. So it's always important to know your goals. So what are you trying to do for your business? What are you trying to do for your page? It's like you're a ship in a harbor and you go out to a destination. If you don't have a spot you're going to go to, it's all pointless. You're basically out in the ocean or sea for no reason. So you need a goal, and then the reporting and analytics we pull from social media so it can show you how you're trending, how you're performing and going towards that goal. Then you can have campaigns. When we work with clients, we found success in having things bucketed or categorized. So say, for example, you want to design a website for a client. A campaign that you can have for your social media can be website education 101, just to put a label to it. And you can just make videos about what you do when you build websites and why. Because in giving that free value, you're not gatekeeping the information, you're giving it away for free, but more people can see that. You become a trusted person on that knowledge source, and then they can actually comment on the post that you make and ask questions, you can respond to them, and you can make a conversation like a forum, and you never know who's actually going to hit you up from that. I also think, I just texted one of our clients yesterday, he's power washing focused. It's service-based business, does power washing, roof cleaning, window washing, all that stuff. We post on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for him. And his TikTok page is getting some good views, but we're just putting out educational information about what he does. They built a box truck recently that takes all their pipes from their box truck to the property where they can spray the house or power wash or soft wash where they need to. And that was just showing a box truck that he spent off-season building. That's it. Like, that's it. And he got like 3 DMs from different people in town saying, can you come by and service my house? How much does it cost? All that stuff. So just by showing what he's doing, people like that. But it's pinned to a category. So that was part of Power Washing 101, or like, it was also a campaign, it was called Preparation of Jobs. So it's important to have these campaigns so you can make a post, but know that it's pinned to part of your strategy. You don't just want to like shot and fire and just do anything. That's not as effective. You want to know what you're posting about and why through these campaigns, through these categories. And then every time you make a post, you know, okay, that's associated to this campaign. That's associated to this. So that creates order right there. The other thing on this tool is we have a production section. So say you need to record something or do a production day, you can plan it out through there. We have a content calendar. That's the most important thing. We look at that the most with our team, is to know what the client's content is planned for the week. What they need to be posted Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and the captions for that post, what campaign it's associated with, where we're at in editing that post. So like a status of our internal team, where they're at with that edit. And then these last ones are more about like if they request an edit or a graphic or something, they can put it through there. So we centralized everything, but that's a big deal. Because the thing too about you guys as business owners is you're so focused on the work, and you need to be. So to think through, what do I need to post? Why should I post it? How do I create it? I gotta edit it as well and make a caption. And then I gotta know if I post it, if I'm getting the right analytics from it, so I know what to do and not to do. Like that's a lot. Like there's full on, you'll see later in the slide, people pay a lot of money for marketing teams. But what if this tool can just help get your head in the right space to bring order to the ideas and help you execute more smoothly? That's the goal of this. You guys have any questions? I would love for it to be back and forth if you do have things you want to ask.
I just had a question about this TikTok. You said that, I forget who it was, they got local leads from some of the stuff that he was posting. Is there like a local element to using TikTok, for example, that like if I'm in Cranford, people in Cranford are more likely to see it?
Yeah, you can use the hashtags. So you put hashtag Cranford and that'll show up on that hashtag for the explore page. Or you can put the location, like Cranford, New Jersey, when you post, and somehow TikTok will associate it with the area you live, like proximity to the building. Yeah. And it's also helpful if you are following other local businesses or people, because then they'll engage with your content and most likely share it with other people. So it's no different than you're building a network offline, and you keep track of who those people are, the contacts, you message them, you email them. Social media is just a little bit different, where it's more public. And the videos are more interactive and dynamic, because you're posting videos, you're posting pictures, and it all lives on one page. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I want to educate on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. There's more to, you got LinkedIn, Pinterest, there's many, there's Google. Google is a whole thing in and of itself, as you mentioned, Chris. But what I had gotten at with that one client about creating these view spikes to drive top of funnel traffic, when I say top of funnel traffic, it's exactly this pyramid here, upside down pyramid, where the people hear about your business from social media, from short form content. 30-second video, 60-second video, okay? And then as they see that, because it's well edited, it is authentic to who you are, it makes sense with the service offerings you have, that funnel traffic can come through a link in your bio, people clicking on that, a DM, a comment in your post, and then lead to eventual conversions of you doing a consultation for someone, or them buying a product, a service of yours, and giving them the ultimate value of why you're in business in the first place. And I'll add too, the reason I say short form content is Instagram has Instagram Reels, TikTok has just TikTok, and YouTube has YouTube Shorts. So there's a lot, like you guys have social media, you know, like it's consumption of a lot of short form content. What, I want to give you a real time example of a client. We have, so this is a going, you guys definitely know about this, is podcasts. I'm sure you guys listen to podcasts. Podcasts are like an hour or 2 hours long. So sometimes our clients will go on a podcast or just talk with a friend of theirs and record it on camera. And it can even be your phone. Like it doesn't need to be, you know, like I have a phone here. You don't need a full-on DSLR production camera. When that conversation is an hour, 2 hours long, you take clips from that, and then you use those short clips to then post on social media. And then the reason, like, for our clients, we'll edit all those videos and post it for them. In our, like, call it done for you package. So that's the benefit to recording things, is you're capturing something, documenting it, and then you're getting, instead of 1 or 2 hour conversation that you can just dish out online, you're making it easier for people to consume it through short form. It's kind of like, if I had a plate here explaining this in a way of a visual, it would be like a steak. It is like the 1 or 2 hour long conversation, and then you cut it into strips. Those would be your short form content, just easier to consume. I'm not going to eat a steak all at once unless I'm a barbarian or something, eating with my hands. Yeah.
Kind of a comment to that, so I have a podcast that
Oh,
I've
amazing.
done, and I have shorts that I've done,
Mm.
and it's an interesting dynamic between the two. I kind of fell into shorts accidentally. I wasn't aware of it, that the way we were cutting it into a TikTok format in 3 minutes became a short until my daughter-in-law was like, you know this is short, right? So I started doing what's called garage marketing as shorts, and I have about 20 shows on that. And it's just quick marketing clips. The other show is called the Random S Podcast, and that is like a variety show. That's the two my friend and I, and we do games, and we have people on, and
Right.
we have about 30 or 40 episodes of that. That's on hiatus right now, but I kind of get both worlds, and I think the short side is more fun than the podcast side from a marketing point of view. But as far as a personal point of view, I enjoyed the podcast and the banter. So
Right.
it's kind of interesting. It goes either way, but I understand somewhat what you're saying and how it works, because I was getting quicker hits on the short side than I was on the podcast. Not to your level of numbers you're showing, but in my world, you know, viral.
No, that's
100.
excellent.
I'm like happy to have 3 people watch.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all proportionate. Like sometimes you get lower views, sometimes we get really called hundreds of views, other times you get more.
Yeah.
So that's what mentioned.
It's weird. It's so random. One episode just exploded,
Yeah,
and
you
the
never
rest
know.
nothing.
That and so.
I mean, you know, fine, but nothing
Yeah.
like what that one did. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. It's all about strategy as well, though. Like even to bring up the big time podcasts like Joe Rogan, I even have a friend that lives in Hoboken. He's spent 6 years and grew his page from literally nothing to has 1 million subscribers on YouTube, but he's a long form podcaster. So it depends your approach. Like people might like long form consumption if that is your like moat or your niche, that's your focus. But as businesses, your goal is to record and then break it down for people in small chunks. And it's mostly, a lot of the time, it's either entertainment or education. You know, people either know what you're doing, know about it, or they know nothing at all. Either way, they're still gonna watch your videos if you're explaining it to them, because then you're building a trust relationship with them. But to that point, the one podcaster, the friend I just mentioned in Hoboken, he posts shorts like all day, all the time.
Yeah,
So it's those short form videos that can get those spikes. The reason those spikes occur is those attention comes from the short form video, but it can be taken from a production that was longer form. Like that food truck owner, he's recording on the meta glasses, so we get like an hour of footage. But we're chopping it up and then posting it on social media to like be a presentable, call it dish for someone to consume. I know I'm using like food analogies here, so I'm glad you just ate. not hungry. So to what you mentioned as well, I brought this slide up because this is you saw the structure to it and kind of like the science to call it a content system or systemizing creativity. This is like the art and science balance to a video. So to educate you a little bit on a video, there are 3 things that make a video really good. It's your hook, so it's your intro, like the thing you do in the beginning to grab people. Next is the meat, like the message, because if what you're saying you're not getting anywhere, it's pointless. And then the third thing is like the visual elements, or the sound effects or the music. So if you have those 3, simply just those 3, and you apply that framework to every single video you create, then you have more success to get those spikes of engagement. But there's a lot to it. There's people that study just this topic. There's people that specialize their whole career on just this thing. It's that. So this is just an illustration of like a timeline, but it is exactly what I just said. This is like an editing timeline of what I would see when I'm doing editing within Premiere Pro through Adobe Creative Cloud. This is like a viral scorecard we'll use based on different emotions, and then where it lies based on your brand and voice and an emotional wheel here. So you don't want to manipulate people. Like Mr. Beast he's a big time YouTuber. He creates videos of different challenges and really amazing feats, but he has mastered this ability to draw people's emotion based on the hook, the meat of the message, and the visuals he uses within the video. And to explain how in-depth the process is and why I love what we do, is it takes away a lot of work from entrepreneurs, from the business people that are doing the work that's already so important and already so operational, is when we get a video, we look at it creatively and say, okay, how does this pin to the strategy for the client? What campaign is it associated with that we've strategized on? Then an editor will make the edit. You're going to make visual effects. It's called VFX retention, like making those visual elements to make sure you retain the people so it's appealing to their eyes. Quality control, you're looking at the video. If I had my laptop, I would show you, I'm commenting like just before we started this presentation with one of our editors about revisions on a video for a client. CD, so creative direction approval, final approval, and then you deliver the video by way of posting it online. So that's the usual process. But as you can see, there's a lot of work that goes into all of the stuff.
so you're working on the social media side of things, not the SEM, SEO side?
No. What I say is we know what we specialize in, and anything we don't, we
No, that's fine, I'm just asking, 'cause I figured it seemed that that's what you were saying.
It's a good point, because even the reason I connected with Chris is I saw he was local, he was in my town prior to moving to Cranford, and he specialized in website and SEO, and I was like, I don't want to do any of that, because I'm not a specialist in that, you're good at
Sounds
that.
like me with social media.
Yeah, so I would prefer to stick with what I'm good at. And that goes with production, like we're not the absolute greatest at production. There's full-on teams that have amazing cameras for that stuff, and for video and photo. And then same goes with, what else is there? There's CRM systems,
Right.
and there are, other design companies, so all that stuff other people can do. We
Yeah.
partner with them and trust them, but the thing that we focus on is social, and I wanna get to this one slide. So, this is what I meant when I said it's so much work for people to do the marketing. Yes, you can just post your own video, and that's great. Like, social media has this free access. It's just totally democratized the ability to put out content, which is excellent. But to do it effectively takes a little work. So people hire full-on teams in-house to do all of the work that we're mentioning. So you'll have a creative director, you'll have an editor, you'll have someone who's specialized in video, sound, visual effects, and then a social media manager. And that can cost, and this is like high-end, but that can cost $250,000 a year for these big-time influencers, big-time creators, big-time businesses. You think of even like a head of marketing budget or salary is like almost 6 figures sometimes. And then like a whole marketing team budget is way larger than that, obviously. So it's, what I love about social media is it's made it so that the smaller individuals, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, singular individuals can do what these teams do, but by themselves, which is insane, like absolutely insane. And so the system I'm presenting, the things I'm talking about are a way to leverage that ability that we have nowadays in the modern age. Yeah, this just talks on, when we get started with a client, we do a 90-day ramp period. So we always test out the first 3 months. We get with them, first 30 days are strategy, a lot of conversation. We look at all of what they've done before, and then we also have in-depth conversation with who they are as an individual and what their business is. Because once we get the information about them, we can put it into a strategy on what that'll look like through content. And then we'll ramp up, we'll start posting, we'll report the analytics through this tool we have, and it'll let us know what we should keep doing more of and stop doing for things that are not working. And then we keep going. It's a lot of experimentation. The reason there's so much content online is, one, because people have access to do it, but it's just a lot of experimentation. YouTube launched this thing recently where you can upload a thumbnail, like a cover for a video, and you can put 3 thumbnails. And then based off the interactions the first 7 days, it'll choose the best performing one and make that the main thumbnail.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
So, like, all this stuff is just experimentation to see what works. And by posting more, you're getting like data points. You know, and then like the food truck, I like keep going back to that. The meta glasses worked, so we were like, let's keep doing that, like way more. So you have like 80% of the time you're doing what works, 20% of the time you're experimenting, and with those experiments, if something clicks, you take that and put it with 80%. So you start to grow your like, the way you have fixed or variable expenses in finance, you're starting to grow your fixed pieces of content and what you know works. I have a bunch of stuff in slides on pricing, but I won't even go into that too much because I just want to give you guys value and education on social media. I can touch on pricing at like the way in when we're done with any questions, but I want to make room
We
for.
have to leave in 7 minutes.
Definitely get to that.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I love this clock, by the way. Do you guys have any questions about marketing, social media, anything that was mentioned?
How much are you posting per week? Sorry, I completely jumped.
It's okay.
But how much are you posting Yeah, like how much are you reporting and then posting on a weekly or monthly basis? Are you trying to get to a certain number? Is there a golden spot? Like,
It's a good question. Some clients we like to post every day. Other clients we post maybe 4 times a week, 5 times a week. And it might seem like, how? Like, what? My brother and I, we planned out every client's social media calendar for the month of April. And we spent a couple hours doing that the other day. Because we sat down, we have all of their strategies, we have all of their data, past content, like we know what the tavern needs to be focused on, what that real estate agent needs to be focused on, the mortgage lender, the life insurance agent, the food truck, all that. Like, we know what they need. And so, it was just a lot of idea generation. And so by having that systemized, by having that planned out, then as the weeks approach, it's much easier to execute. I'll go back, I used the finance thing before, it's kind of like having a budget. You have your fixed and variable expenses planned out, you have your forecasted income, and you know what's gonna happen for that month. And so you just play with the days as they come and say, okay, I spent money on this, that matches to this expense and this expense. At the end of the month, you look at it and say, okay, we were up or down, let's adjust based on how we ended. Same thing with content, same thing.
cool.
Can you talk for like a minute and a half about, do you work with influencers, like micro influencers or, bigger ones?
Yeah.
Do you guys do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like leveraging influencers for collaborations on a page, absolutely. Like the tavern, we wanna do more of that, where people come in and eat food for free, or we pay them to eat food, and we'll get a post out of that. They'll make a piece of content and collaborate with the tavern on that video, and then you graft in a bunch of their engagement, because it goes on their page
Mm-hmm.
and the tavern's page from that partnership. Yeah. And even the real estate agent, he's building himself into the micro influencer level, because he's building so much trust with his local county he's in, Essex County, Hudson County, Passaic County, that so many people know who he is because he's posted online for so long. And he shows his listings, he shows the tours he does, he gives all his information out for free. He posts funny stuff sometimes, so. Yeah, I think everyone can get to the level of having their own micro influencer impact. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Awesome, great job,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
and well done, you're done on time. You hit the mark. Nice.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by.
Of course, yeah, thank you for this. Thank you, this is awesome.
You have a card?
Really enjoyed it. I have a digital card.
And I forgot to bring my cards, I left them at home. And shame on me.
Yeah, right?